Okay. Arsen.
Plasma.
This is my third take today. And I don't know why I find this video so important to do. I could just continue making some regular videos, covering some topics. I don't know. And sorry about the background noise. That's arson. But yeah, it somehow feels like this video just needs to happen for me to just move on and start making some creative stuff, just like covering some topics, some interesting topics. Kinda, sorta like, just like popping the lid. This video is the lid, I guess. Good timing. So yeah, I'm back. I guess I gotta start with the whole pandemic thing. I don't feel like I need to remind anyone of that entire but it just gives the context to everything that I'm going to talk about. You know, people lost their minds during the pandemic and social media just went crazy. It actually amplifies the crazy. The already crazy was amplified to like insane levels. The best thing I could do is just stop consuming social media altogether for my own sanity's sake. And I think it affected my life in like two major ways. First one is the change of my online habits. I no longer mindlessly scroll through social media. Like it happens very rarely, but I try to use social media in a very conscious way. I try to make sure that everything I do online is very intentional. So if I'm thinking about Nick or Simon or some, like high school friends or someone I haven't seen in a while, I would go to their profile, I'll see what they're up to, maybe like a couple of their posts, maybe send them a message, just letting them know. Just feel like it's a very, very healthy way of doing it. Also when when I needed some ideas for my workspace renovations or like a kitchen or bathroom renovations, I would obviously go and look for some inspiration. And yeah, I also have a couple of friends who send me some spicy memes on daily basis. Many spicy memes. So second way that whole thing affected my life is something I'm gonna call attention detox. There's two sides to this coin, one positive and one negative. And I'd say short term, it was kind of negative as somewhat I neglected my career in a way. Instead of just continuing the momentum I've had prior to COVID starting, and to use the lockdowns and the fact that people were glued to their screens like 24/7, I decided to retreat, into my own little universe and spend time just working, learning about a bunch of stuff that I can't wait to share with everyone, and just spending more time with my family and friends in general. I guess long term it's a good thing that I did that, because I strongly believe that an artist can't grow as an artist and as a human being if they're constantly being watched and complimented and judged by audience. I feel like we need more space. So yeah, long term, I think it was a good decision. And so many things happened in the meantime. Sorted Pink got released in 2020. something that Alex and I have been working on for a while. Before that, the live session from that record also got released, which we recorded in 2018, but with everything happening, it just took a bit of time to wrap that thing up. But yeah, it's cool. Sounds great. You should check it out if you haven't already. And I signed with Kiesel Guitars and Neural DSP, which I'm gonna get back to in a second. Even though I've stepped away from everything for a while, there was a group of fans that still came together and made this surprise for me.
Are you ready?
Okay, I am.
Okay,
All right,
let's
then let's
do
go.
this.
Do you want to do the honor? And I'll take Willy.
Oh yeah. Take Willy. Yeah.
All
Let's
right,
go.
perfect. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Let's go.
Well, there we are.
Here it
Let's
is.
go, guys. Surprise.
What is this? There's so many of them.
Let's go.
Yes, we're all waiting. All right, guys, you guys ready? 3.
Yes.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday
Happy
to
birthday
you.
to you.
Happy birthday to you.
And I gotta admit, it made me pretty emotional and very happy, because even though I kind of neglected my, social media presence and my fan base in a way for a bit, they still came together and they did this awesome thing that I really wanted to talk about it, but just haven't had a chance because of the things that happened only a couple of days later. But yeah, now I have a chance to, mention it, and I'll link the videos they've done in the description below. Check them out. Ja ću da pročitam ovaj sljedeći deo. So, what happened only 3 days later is my mom died very suddenly and seemingly out of nowhere. And that affected me and my family very, very deeply. She was in my and my father's arms when her heart stopped beating that afternoon. And I still carry the trauma from that day. For more than 2 years, I couldn't sleep without my headphones, or at least one of the earbuds in my ear playing anything, really. And during all that time, I continued working on Bilo 4, and it wasn't easy, but it was probably the best, the healthiest thing I could have done for myself at that moment. Needless to say, one significant part of that record was dedicated to her and her passing.
Spoko.
So in 2021, I signed with Neural DSP to do 3 videos for Quad Cortex that came out at that time. One of which I recorded and released after my mom's passing, and it's the last video I recorded for YouTube that's not related to Bilo 4 material. So I feel like that needs to change, and I'll get to that in a second. Another thing that happened was Jelka's pregnancy, which was a roller coaster by itself. And from the very start, like the day we found out she was pregnant, we did a piss test. Jelka doesn't like me calling it that, but yeah. We did actually 2 urine tests. Very polite urine coming out of my beautiful wife. But yeah, 2 piss tests positive, blood test negative. Then later that day, or like in the middle of the night, we decided we wanted to do 1 more or 2 more. What happened? I don't remember. 2 more maybe, yeah. Which came out positive, which is weird because blood test is usually way more reliable. But yeah, a couple of days later, we went to ultrasound and it showed something happening, and that was the start of that. And the roller coaster continues throughout the whole pregnancy, but I'm not gonna cover that now because it was very intense at times. During all that, obviously, I continued working on Bilo 4. Some of those topics and some of those moments covered in my song Wedding, which also happened during that time. But yeah, overall, a very, very intense period. And during all that, a person close to me was having some very, very heavy depression and drug-related issues. Dealing with all that was and still kind of is a big part of my life. It's something I can't talk about in great detail yet. Maybe one day, but it's still an ongoing situation. And yeah. And then Arsen's birth happened. Literally the best thing in the world. A little bittersweet given everything that was going on, but he changed us to our core. Like I personally could feel the things that I worry about changing, like my values changing, my priorities changing, just everything turns upside down all of a sudden in the most wonderful and kind of scary way. Speaking of scary, I get these intense bursts of anxiety come and go, from time to time, which I've never had before, but just worrying that we all stay healthy and prosperous and safe and all that. But I guess that comes with the package. I guess that's normal. Maybe some dads can confirm in the comments. I don't know. And yeah, through all that, obviously, I postponed Bilo 4. To all of my fellow nerds and weirdos out there, I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought that I could do it. I thought it was possible 3 months ago when I announced the record that I could write, record, finish a majority of it, but it was this close. Almost made it. And then Bilo 4 was released in November last year. And I think it's absolutely musically and production-wise my biggest and strongest achievement ever. It sounds like he's taking a shit. But he's not. He's just being alive. That's how it sounds like. Woo. And here we are. In the new / old apartment. And I say new / old because I actually bought this apartment from my parents. And however strange that might sound, but man, this apartment needed renovations really bad. And renovations we did, but in that whole, at that time, there was just a bunch of I wish you could hear binaural version of everything that's going on. Some screaming on this side, some chewing on this side. Yelka laughing over here. A bunch of packing and moving and just this place, everything was renovated. The entire, electric and the water installation and the walls were redone. Everything pretty much, the floors as well. So it was pretty intense For a couple of months, we stayed a couple of different places. All of that with a little baby. So yeah, crazy times. And I still need to finish my workspace. I need to do bass traps and some absorbers on the walls. Take the room to the place where all the music that I'm listening to and the music that I'm working on sounds good and, you know, sounds so that I'm just happy with what I'm hearing. When Arsen was born, I made a conscious decision to stay at home for at least a couple of years. No touring, no shenanigans, just so I can, you know, because I've read in many places, just prepping to, you know, be the best dad in the world. I read that it's very important for the development, for parents to be present. for parents to be present as much as possible.
To dada.
And that's what I'm doing. And that's why there's no tours or anything like that happening. Now that I'm, you know, here and that I can, that I find. But yeah, now that I have, you know, the needs and the time and the conditions to come back to YouTube and dedicate more time to my work, I would really love to dedicate more time to all of that. So, you know, just take it slow, cover a couple of interesting topics. I would love to do more interviews and more stuff with people from other branches, people who might have like some new, fresh insights. So it's not just like my, you know, opinions and my views. So yeah, now that I, you know, have a family, now that I have a child, I can't really just do this for fun any longer. Obviously, I need to figure out a way to, you know, somehow monetize the work I'm going to put into all of this. Speaking of which, this video is brought to you by fucking no one. There's a couple of links in the video description to some of the impulses I have released over the years. I just recently, last week, released a new pack of impulse responses of my favorite open back 2x12 guitar cabinet. There's like more than 700 impulses in the pack, so check those out. It's the ultimate. I'll cover it in the future videos, and yeah, we'll cover that topic as well. I'll show you some of my findings when it comes to, you know, capturing the guitar speakers and all that. Either way, I hope this video didn't bore you to death. If it did, I guess goodbye. If it didn't, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell. That's a thing now. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.